Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another Monday Meditations with Wine. My name is Chuck Nix, the bearded wino. I'm your host for Monday Meditations with Wine. Look, it's been a little while. I missed y'all, and I'm happy to be back in space. So, look, thank you so much for all of your support and checking us out and coming to see us here at Bravo. As many of you know, in the Jackson metro area, that we've been going through some water challenges and we've been under boil water alert a lot this summer. Look, for each and every one of you that have stopped in to say hi, to support us, just to have a meal, knowing that we're doing everything in our power to make sure that we're keeping you safe and we're doing the right things by the citizens and the people that come to see us. We want to send a sincere thank you to you. We are back open at our usual hours, and we're here serving wine, and we're hosting wine tastings again, and we're cooking dinners, and we're doing all kinds of things that we always have done in the midst of all these challenges. And I just want to say a big thank you to you and to each and every hospitality professional that works in the Manja Benet family and every other hospitality professional that's working in Jackson right now. I have to say that our hearts, our minds, and our hat goes off to you because we know that you're dealing with your own challenges at home in this water crisis. And then you're coming to work to make sure that you can do the right thing for the people that are also paying our bills. And we're doing this for the community. So, one time for all the hospitality professionals that are fighting the fight through this water crisis here in Jackson. Thank you guys for all that you do. And I'm happy to be a part of your family as a hospitality professional myself. Look, I've been gone for a minute, and I'll tell you what I've been doing. If we can catch up just a little bit, winos. I've been doing some wine traveling. I've been to Atlanta. I've been to Dallas doing Texom and doing all these other wine conventions and trade tastings and doing what I can to make sure that we can get some of the best stuff coming into the state, making some connections and building community. I just want you all to know that there is a unique community of wine professionals here in the state of Mississippi. People think that it's just us serving food, and there's some awesome chefs. We know they've got their James Beard nominations. But for the beverage professionals, the distributors, the brokers, the on the floor somms, the educators, the wine influencers, there's a community here in Mississippi that is tight knit, it is diverse. And I think that we have a really unique opportunity at changing not just the perception of Mississippi hospitality professionals and really coining Southern hospitality, but we've got a really unique opportunity at expanding our Southern hospitality community beyond our state borders and really bringing people into the fold in what we're doing here. So I have to say this, some of our community members in the Southern Sommelier Collective and just other hospitality professionals in the state have been traveling with me. Today, I'm talking with my brother, my family, Justin Watts. He's the general manager at Aplos, the Greek place here in Highland Village. I joke with him all the time. I'm at Bravo. Our pizza's better, but we see what you're doing down there because they've got some really cool private selection wines. We're going to talk a little bit about travel. I've done Texom for, I think, 4 events now. His first 2 were this year. I would love for you all to hear about his experience first time at Texom because I know for me it was certainly almost life changing. Certainly changes your viewpoint on the industry. I want to hear from him what his experience was like. We're going to talk about what he's doing and how he's fighting the fight through this water crisis. And we're also just going to talk about building community. And also, he's not just my brother in Christ, but he's also a preacher's kid. So we're going to talk about preacher's kids in the wine industry because it's a really cool and fun dynamic. So look, I'm going to get Justin in the place. He's got some time to come talk with us. So we're going to get in with him.
What's up,
Justin, what's going on?
everybody? Thank you for having me on, Chuck.
Hey, man, thank you so much for taking the time to do it. Look, I know that you are a busy person. Your time is very, very valuable, but we do got to talk to you because you've got a lot going on. Justin, I got to ask you this real quick because we know what you're doing down there at Aplos, but let's just jump backwards a little bit. How long have you been in this industry?
Actually, I celebrate 10 years next February.
Ooh, wow, 10 years in the
10
business.
years in business. My first job when I turned 18.
Wow,
Became
you are
cook
100% of
slash
that.
server at this restaurant in Madison. And I worked my way
Okay,
up
all
from
right.
there.
So you're a vet through and through. So you started off as a server.
Yes.
All right, and then you worked your way into management. Now, for most of us that are really talented, how long did it take you to get into management?
Um, about 4 years to really get my foot in the door. Started becoming shift lead and closer and all that stuff. But it really took about 4 years to actually get the title front of house manager.
So majority of your time you've been leading and operating restaurants.
Yes.
Wow, man. And of course, we know you have to learn to follow before you can lead, but you clearly learned how to lead effectively because now you're running one of the busiest joints in the city right now, in the city center.
Yes. I've been blessed with good teachers and mentors. Biggest one being my grandfather, who is a preacher, but he taught us to lead, you have to know how to follow. And I've
Yeah.
just had a good string of following people and learning from their pros and learning from their cons. And I think people miss that step of learning from the cons.
I talk to people when I mentor, when I coach, teams. I say mistakes are cool. Mistakes are lessons to be learned, right? So the good and the bad, right? The bad is not necessarily bad as long as you learn from it, right? And that's what makes us stronger individuals. Man, I'm really happy to hear that you said that you've been in this thing for 10 years and you're dedicated and committed to it. How many people come into this business and they're like, I'm just going to do this until I find something else to do?
I'm not gonna lie, that's how I started off. This was
right. No, yeah.
Industry. I was in college, like trying to pay for college and all that stuff, and then somewhere in those 4 years, I realized I was actually happy doing this. Like I was determined to make this my career, even though my mom and granddad and them didn't believe you can make a career in this, and I proved them wrong. They've said it multiple times, but it started off as just being another job.
Justin, you're a people person though. Like you're the kind of person that your personality's magnetic, right? You draw people in. You're warm, you're welcoming, you're inviting. I mean, this business is you're fit for this business though.
I'm an introvert, though. What most people don't know, I'm very introverted, and I would much rather be around people and not socialize with them.
All right, look, every one of you that's listening right now, I've been hanging out with Justin for years now. He says he's an introvert. Let me tell you about an introvert. We got the videos of you dancing at Texom at the polishing party. We got the videos. We got the footage, introvert.
AKA drinking wine since 7 a.m.
Man, all right. So look, let's just dig in just a little bit. We're talking about Texom. Your first time at Texom was earlier this spring at the retreat. Tell me about that a little bit. What was it like for you first time at Texom?
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I heard you and Tiffany talk about Texom and everything is about. Got there. I was like, all right, I kind of see what they're talking about. Got me interested in writing wine and how to describe it in multiple different ways because I do not consider myself a writer whatsoever, but I can describe things verbally. So that challenge of having to write about the wines and being coached and taught how to do that, I really enjoy that because it's my weakest thing. So spring was good. Good little baby step. It does not do the conference justice. The Texom conference is everything. It is magical. It is home. It's passion, and it's true and pure. Yeah. I think that was the biggest thing I took from it of how pure everybody in that space was about making wine more than just wine.
Yeah,
it's more juice in the bottle.
You said something, and I'll agree, and then I will slightly disagree. For me, I think the more touching experience for me was the retreat that happened in the spring. My first time in, right? Last year, I did the retreat, and I mean, first things first, let's be clear. James Tidwell, Amy Hendricks, the entire team, everybody that does organizing with Texom, all the volunteers, all the leads, the production leads, everybody involved. Hell, even the tech crew that sets up the AV. Everybody there is there for a cause and a purpose, and they're about being hospitable to the individuals they come across.
Yes.
And it's one of the best things to be in that environment and to feel that energy immediately when you walk into the facilities in the conference space. That's what I remember most about going to Texom my first time. And within the first 3 hours, Justin, you saw it. You were there.
Yeah.
Every Texom event, there's laughter and there's tears.
Yes.
and in the first 3 hours of me being there, I'm in a room, and you like have the thing where you like look up at the ceiling, where you like trying to keep them in. Like
you're trying to tell everybody around you, do not cry because I will break.
Yeah. Don't look at anybody in the eye. Don't look at anybody. just look at the ceiling. But that's the mode and the feeling there. You're really amongst family and people that care about hospitality and about being great and about, like you said, making wine business about more than just the wine. It's
Yes.
about culture, community, family, and all those things. All right, so tell me this. I know you said the conference was your favorite event. Tell me, give me a fun memory. Give me something good. What do you remember? What do you
I
love the
think
most?
the conference became my favorite event because you got to see everything from the ground up. We all go to trade show tastings, we all go to these conferences, and you're just a guest.
Yeah,
But being in the back end and watching how the people who live in Las Vegas and work at the Westin, how they interacted with us, seeing how their operations work, and how they were just so gracious to us, and then watching everybody who was there volunteering,
yeah,
put aside what they had going on in their personal roles, all come together to build an event for people that we look up to, but also those people are coming to this event for us volunteers. Just seeing the mutual respect and dedication give to it was probably one of the best things I ever saw because it made me think about my restaurant. It made me think about why we're doing this and while we go through the process of training and hiring and all that stuff. It was just a good foundation of if you do it, if you start from a small part and you get a good foundation, this is what you can grow to.
it's really awesome. You go there to pick something up and to bring it back home. You know what I mean? Every time I go, and I said this at one of the seminars I hosted because I was tasked with hosting and introducing the speakers for the
Yeah.
seminars this past conference. And I said this at my very last seminar, which was a great one about service standards today and how they
Mhm.
change. I said this at the end because it was such a great seminar. It was so engaging. All the trade pros in the room had something to offer, so we all could really benefit from the angles that in the direction we were taking our service. And I said, this is what Texom is about. You get re-energized, you get motivated, you get inspired, and then you all you want to do is just take that energy, bring it back home to your restaurant or your business and your team, and you want to give that same hospitality and energy to them. And that's one of the best things about Texom, outside of the fact that we get to drink some amazing wines that we would not ordinarily be drinking, right?
Yes, true.
Do you remember a favorite wine that you drank? Was there like a memorable one that's like, this is the one?
Oh, it would be there's these wines from Croatia,
Okay. I missed that
and
totally.
they were fantastic. All of them indigenous grapes. Cannot tell you one single thing about them because I could not read the back of the labels, just because they were all written like in Croatian.
All right, we
But
got some studying to do. We got some
I
studying
am
to do.
studying doing Croatia. Also, would have never thought Croatia would be a wine that would be in piquing my interest.
Mm,
Out of all the wines we got to taste, Croatia started piquing my interest. Like, there's more to this than you would think. Um, I got to enjoy a lot of sparkling.
yeah,
I
yeah.
had one full day where I drank nothing but sparkling wine. From 7 all the way to dinner, I drank nothing but sparkling, and that was a happy day. I think
Well,
actually it was on Monday.
well, hats off to you, young man.
Krug, Signature, Renard, all the big boys I got to drink all day.
Can we say we're bubbling, bubbling all day long? I think. Let me think. I think my favorite wine, Oi, which is really tough because I mean, just so y'all aware, it's a trade tasting. If you ever go to trade tasting, let's think like in the Jackson metro area, if you've ever been to Sante South, or if you're in the industry, then you understand exactly what we're talking about by a trade tasting. If you don't, let me paint a little bit of a picture. There's a conference center and distributors, brokers, winemakers, principals from wineries. Those are people that are important in sales directors. They come to a space and they bring samples of the wine and set up booths, right, like a trade show. And as professionals or people in the conference, you walk around table to table, you taste through the wines, and you get the information that's necessary that the winemaker and the distributors and brokers and professionals want you to know, all in effort to help them sell that product, right? To support the farmers and the people working in the vineyards and the winery. Okay, so we're in these conference centers, and Texom is massive. I couldn't give you a number of people, hundreds, maybe into 1,000 or plus in a room at one time. What do we say? 30 to 40, maybe 50 tables. You were an expo team,
I worked the expo, so at any given point in time, we had 35 tables.
so 35 tables, and they changed, right? Sometimes in a day,
Yep.
right? So you got 35.
We did 3 tastings a day.
Okay, 3 trade tastings a day. Some of the tables changed during the day. 35 tables in a room, hundreds of professionals in the room with glasses and going for it. There you go. Disney World for Psalms and wine professionals.
And let's break this down. It's not like the professionals who are giving us this wine to taste. It's not like they're bringing 1 or 2 bottles.
Oh yeah, right.
They're bringing anywhere from 5. What the max we allowed them to bring was 6 this time, but they're bringing about 6 bottles between whites and reds and other interesting things. And you're trying to plan out your time. All right, do I taste all 6 of these, or are there other tables I need to make it to and taste them? And when we talk about the spit buckets, you're truly tasting and spitting.
You gotta spit.
You're trying to pace yourself.
You gotta spit. It's very important. Well, also, again, we're talking about professionals. You have to be responsible. This isn't a drink fest. This is not a bacchanalian festival. This is us coming in. We're gonna taste some wine professionally. We're gonna spit. We're going to drink water. We're gonna hydrate. We're gonna take breaks. Right. Then you're gonna do some work, and you're gonna come taste some more wine. And then we do the grand tastings. So that's what the trade show is. It's not just your job is to drink for a living. It's a little bit different.
Yeah. I know there's a couple of them that when they were going on, I probably drank 1 or 2 things just like tasting it. Most of the time I was walking around just wanting to listen to the professional or the representative of that wine talk about it and hear what other people were describing it and what they got from it. Because that, to me, that is one of the most interesting parts is how everybody tastes differently.
Yep.
But we all kind of say some of the same notes, but we describe them in different ways.
I think, let me see. Some of my favorite tables that I did not skimp on the wines, German wine collection right here. I definitely hit that table up and went through the whole table. That's some fantastic GG wines. Yeah. Gross Gewachs, for those of y'all that know. If you know, you know. If you don't, we'll school you a little bit later on. And then one table that I definitely did not skip on was the sherry table. Not the Lustau, but the Gonzalez Biaz. Yes. I stayed at that table for a good little minute. There was some great things happening at that table. Oh, man.
For sure, I stayed at 3 tables. Georgia, as in the country.
Yeah, they had good stuff.
African American Association of Vintners. I stayed at their whole section the entire time because they were there.
Likewise. Likewise.
And then Wines of Washington.
Okay.
I dug into it a little bit more.
I stopped at Washington. I got a couple of things, and it's so much going on. And you got 100 people in the room more than, and you got people talking to you. I did stop at the Washington table. I definitely hung out at the AAAV table, Georgia table. By the way, SSC, we're working on getting wines of Georgia coming into the state. Yes. We're working on wines of Germany coming into the state. I don't think that I'm being presumptuous. I think, or a little preemptive. I think we're really working on something to get them to come in, doing some master classes. So
I had a running list of things I was testing my reps. Like, hey, they don't have it in yet. We need to make this happen.
Yeah. So trade professionals just know we're working on getting some more really fun master classes next year from these really unique winemaking regions. All right, look, let's talk about just step back a bit. You're a preacher's kid. I'm a preacher's kid. We both are now in the wine business. I mean, you got into the biz at 18.
Yes.
Right? Your faith started way before that. And your faith don't change, right?
Yeah, I've grown with my faith.
Yeah.
But it's there.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. We know, you and me both know, in these Southern Christian churches, this whole drinking business. Come on now. This whole drinking business that you're a part of. What are we doing right now? I'll be as brief as I can. I mean, I've spoken on this more than once. I'm a preacher's kid, and I remember the church that I used to go to when I was 19 when I started in this business. There was a church covenant we used to have to say every, I think, first and third Sunday. And in the church covenant, I remember this line. Now, mind you, I work at a restaurant. I'm going to bartend and serve at this restaurant when I get done at church to work my shift that night. In the church covenant, there was a line that said, I will abstain from the use and sale of alcohol as a beverage. Use and sale. So here's the deal. Even if I was a professional and didn't drink, I'm now giving a covenant that I can't even go work in this business. And it was a thing that made me feel guilty, right? Because I knew what I was going to do when I left church. That's how I'm paying my tithes. That's how I'm paying my bills. That's how I'm living my life. But am I really going against my faith by going to do this? But I had to remember, maturity shows that it wasn't the faith that I was going against. It may have been the religion side of it, the church, the
He's going
building.
against man-written covenants, because it does not say in the Bible that you should abstain from the sale. And that was like that governing body of that church. They wrote this, and I think that's one of the things we've dealt with is, all right, am I going against God and His teachings and His love, or I'm going against what a group of usually men got together and decided this is how we're going to operate our facility.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that realization right there, understanding that your relationship with God is personal. It is more than whatever doctrine or whatever religion, whatever standard is set forth by any church or organization. Knowing that that relationship is there and it's intact no matter what. And you have to know your word to dig into that. You got to know your word and know that God is with you through it all. And that's what I think keeps you motivated. And quite frankly, if it wasn't for God, if it wasn't for my faith, I don't know that I could have stuck with this business. These exams, pressure.
Oh, if it wasn't for God, I don't know if I could have stuck with a lot of things. It's been God every step of the way. Even when I
1,000%.
didn't know. He was there guiding.
You know, glory to God that He's there with us through it all. And I mean, can you just imagine if I went the other way and said, you know what, I'm not going to go to work. I'm just going to stay in church. Would I be doing what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
Would I be able to reach the people that I'm reaching now?
I'm like this. Sometimes I think my life is hard enough and I believe in loving God and that He guides and directs me. I could not imagine being on the other side of living this life without knowing God. Because I think it gets rough sometimes. And I can only imagine what some other people go through.
Well, I pray for them.
Yeah.
Right. And I pray for us in keeping this thing going in this wine industry. Let's dig in a little bit. As you know, men that have grown up in this business, grown up with our faith, and then in the South, right?
Mhm.
Things ain't always easy for us. Like, think about all the challenges that we go through outside of any historical connotation. Modern day, right now, what's our biggest challenge? Our most looming thing is we got this water crisis going on. Let's dig
And
in.
it's one of those things where we're in a water crisis, and I'm trying to make myself not think like this. All right, it's a water crisis. We go through this every year. What's different about this time than it was last year or the year before that? What is different? How do we operate? How do we stay positive? I think the number one thing I found is Jackson in particular has a real good community base where our customers are family.
Yeah.
They rally together. They come support us. I've had more customers ask, are you and your employees okay?
Yeah.
How are you doing with this? Are your employees able to work? Are they being able to come? Are y'all slow and having to cut hours? And I've been able to say, no, because we're still getting the support from our customers.
Yeah.
That's really what made this so much easier, is that support from our customers.
Yeah. I have to say, Justin, I'm with you on that. The community that is here in Jackson metro area in Jackson, the community here it's like none other. I started my career here in the Memphis area, and I worked, out in Jackson metro for the last maybe 5 to 6 years now.
Yeah.
And I've not seen a community like this come together in situations like this. First off, I've never been in a situation like this. This is the longest boil water or water crisis that I think. I don't know if it's the longest that Jackson's dealt with. It's certainly the longest that I've dealt with. this
This is as
summer.
long as I've dealt with too.
This is a really long one. This one's tough. And then losing the water pressure a couple of weeks ago, that was really, really tough. No, not even having water.
And it's not even on top of losing water pressure. At that same time, most of Jackson had flooding, where we had people having to move out of their homes
Yeah.
on top of not having water pressure.
Yeah, man. It's been discouraging to say the least, but the encouragement has come from, like you said, the people coming in the doors to support. The people that I'm sure was happening with you that were buying gift cards when we couldn't open the doors just to
Yeah.
say we got your back. The people that were coming in when they were unsure of what's really going on with the water situation,
Mhm.
just to say I want to support you. Let me buy a Pepsi. You know what I mean? Those people that were coming in, man, I thank each and every supporting guest immensely. Thank each and every one of you so much, because without y'all, we don't get a chance to come and do this. We don't get a chance to come and support our families and the people that work with us. We have the toughest time supporting each other if it isn't for the guests that support us. So thank y'all.
That's
Yeah,
so
the
true.
community is very real here. And even here in Highland Village, man, we got
Yeah.
a really cool community here, man. The people that run it here. So you guys did a really cool thing to support Highland Village, not just Aplos. You guys, what did y'all do? What are some of the contributions that you guys did to kind of support the Highland Village community?
So anything Holland Village needs, we say yes to it. We did it. Wherever it's come to any of the events that are happening, we say yes. How can we help you? How can we serve you? When it came to we lost water pressure and we was getting porta potties, the shopping center reached out to us saying, "Hey, can everybody use this?" And it was like, "Yes, whoever needs to come use it can use it. It's not just ours; it's here for
Yeah.
everybody."
Yeah.
So it's whatever. It's basically us being part of Holland Villages. Whatever benefits the whole shopping center will ultimately benefit us as well.
Yeah, and that does it's a big help too. And for anybody watching who's outside of the Jackson metro area who doesn't understand what we're talking about, we lost pressure for a bit of time in the middle of this boil water notice. When you lose water pressure, you don't have water out of the faucets, you can't flush a toilet, your restaurant cannot operate. What many of us as operators would do is we would have to come into the restaurant, and it was an opportunity for us to deep clean and get ready for when we could open back up, or just to be there for any sort of water maintenance that could happen in by chance.
Yeah.
While we were here, there was no way for us to use the restroom or wash hands or any of the basic necessities. So porta potties come in, which would have their own water source, of course, sanitizer stations all around, so we could stay safe and be clean. But that's what you have to deal with trying to run a restaurant or trying to run a business even
Yeah.
with a in the middle of a water crisis. So we're still under boil water notice. Um, in the city. I know what we're doing here at Bravo by sourcing water and ice and beverages. Tell me a little bit about the struggle that you guys have going on. What's coming down the line? How are y'all handling this part of the
So we're doing kind of the same things. We're buying canned product and bottled water. We're having to go buy ice every single day just to have ice to give our customers for their drinks and keep product cold. We also are starting to work with the state on different t- water methods for like tanks, reverse osmosis to see if they can be approved for a restaurant to use. The same thing the hospitals kind of use, where we can have
Mhm.
our own independent supply of water if the city goes up on a boil notice, where we don't have to just completely shut down and we can use some of the things we already have in place in the restaurant.
Look, you guys are fighting the good fight. I know Jeff is fighting the good fight everywhere he is. He's making sure that the people understand what we're doing and that we're doing everything we can to stay safe. He's doing a great job of kind of being a town crier to get us the assistance that we
Yeah,
need. You guys are fighting it. We're fighting it. I'm happy
they're
to be in
kind
the
of
community with you.
they're kind of unspoken heroes too. Our owners and
Yeah.
operators,
Yeah.
Alex Eaton, Stephen O'Neill, Jeff Good, Lou, all them who are in the city of Jackson who own restaurants. Derek Emerson, who are going above and beyond and trying to think of every imaginable thing to help not only their restaurant survive, their employees survive, but also still be there for the community.
Yeah, you're right. They are the unspoken heroes, man. They are absolutely. They're the heroes. We're happy to be working with them to fight
Yeah.
this fight with them. So again, to everyone that supports us, thank you. Our owners, thank you. The people that come and work with us every day in the middle of this crisis, not knowing what business is going to be like, thank you. The guests who stop in to say hi, to support us, thank you. Each and every operator that is working this business, that's still sticking with it, thank you. We need
Yeah.
it. This is why we are proud of what we're doing here in Mississippi and in Jackson. This is what the Southern Sommelier Collective is about. It is building community. Um, I'm really proud of our community, Justin. Um, we've done some really, really cool things in the past year. Master classes with Wines of South Africa and Sherry master classes and traveling to Texas. I got to know a few things about you, man. And I think
Okay.
that anybody checking in, they got to know these things too, because I ask them to everybody. It helps me
Let's go
understand
for it.
who we're hanging out with. I got to know if you could share a bottle of wine with any one person, who would it be and why?
I would share with my great grandfather Daniel Walker
Three
because
greats. That was three greats, right?
yeah, before he became a saved Christian man, became a pastor,
Uh huh.
he used to bootleg alcohol, and
Ah,
he was making it in his home
yeah.
and selling it during the Prohibition times. And really, we still have the recipes where he taught my aunt. And he passed away before I was like 6, so nowhere near age of drinking. But I've heard stories of how people would travel from all over the South to get this man's homemade muscadine wine.
Come on
And
now.
he'd be the person I would share a bottle with.
Come on now. All right. You know what? I would share a bottle with him too. I don't know that I would drink muscadine wine. Have you ever had muscadine wine?
I've had it.
Do you like it?
No,
No.
but from what I've heard, his muscadine wine and his moonshine, top notch.
All right. I'll drink great granddad's moonshine and his muscadine. I'll drink his, but he's got to drink my Bordeaux.
From the stories I've heard of him, he could drink anything.
He wouldn't have no problem.
He would have had no problem.
All right, man. Hey, yo, check it out. Let me ask you this: which grape variety or style of wine best describes you?
Variety, I would
Or
say.
style? Or style? Either
Or
one.
style, orange wine.
Orange wine. Okay.
Yes,
All
it
right.
is. It's complex. It plays to the white side and the red side of wine,
Okay.
but it stands on its own, and it's misunderstood a lot of times about what it is.
Yeah. But
So
it's
the
a
orange
people
wine is
pleaser.
that style, huh?
It's still a people pleaser at the end of the day. It's still given.
Yes,
It's the
and
yeah,
it's
that's
also
you.
unbeaten path.
Yeah, that's you, Justin. 1,000% that's you. 100%. 100%. All right. You got a unicorn bottle. If you could drink this one bottle of wine, you could die happy, man. What would it be?
Honestly, I don't think I have one yet. There's
No?
still a lot more bottles and styles I've got to try before I can answer that.
Okay. All right.
And also, I don't think I want a unicorn bottle because once you get a unicorn bottle, everything else stops living up to it. And I never want to stop being impressed and wowed by something.
Okay. All right. I can dig it. So, no unicorn bottle because you want to enjoy the journey. You want to keep it. I like
Yeah,
it. I
I
like
want to
that a
keep being
lot.
inspired.
I like that a whole lot. Okay. You got $20. What bottle of wine you going to get?
Redwood Creek Pinot Noir. It's a double bottle that costs $7. It's the first wine I started drinking at 18.
That's your aha bottle.
Yep. It
Ah,
is.
okay. Okay.
Still a jam
Redwood
to this day.
Redwood Creek Pinot Noir.
Yep.
Yeah,
That'll
you
be
would.
that'll be what if I only got $20 and I gotta pick a bottle real quick and not have to stress over it. That's what I'm picking.
That's good, man. That's good. That's quality, man. I'll drink it with you too. All right, look, Justin, tell me this: if you were not in the beverage industry today, what would you be doing?
Ooh. I think I would be planning events.
Okay. Well,
And I
you can
think
still do that.
I truly do enjoy the logistical side of making a big production happen. So if I wasn't directly in the hospitality industry, wine business, I think that would be the side I'll be in.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody paying attention right now, stay tuned because Justin and I are going to be planning some really big events in the next year because that's what he wants to do, and I want to do it with him. We're going to make some magic happen. That's what's going to go down. Yo, this has been a fantastic Monday Meditation Wine. Justin, thanks so much for taking some time out, man.
Thank you for having me on.
I appreciate it, brother. Look, we got a lot more going on in the future. I'll catch up with you soon, and we're going to cheers up. Oh, you're going to be at the baby shower. Yeah, y'all know I'm having a baby.
At the baby shower.
Y'all know I'm having another baby. Well, my wife is having another baby. We're having a baby shower. Justin's going to come party with me and the rest of the winos. It's going to be a fun time. So I'll see y'all in November with a new baby, but I'll see y'all next Monday for Monday Meditations with Wine. Thank you so much for popping in. Justin, you have a wonderful evening. Peace, my man.
Thank you.
Peace.